Hello everyone, it's David from Southside Detail back again. Check it out. Got a 2017 Mustang GT. Beautiful car. Really sweet silver metallic paint. Got it set up. I'm ready to do a full decon wash because we'll be doing a ceramic coating on it. So we're going to get the paint all fully prepped up and ready to go. And I'll be doing a quick polish on it. And I'll be showing you how we coat the paint and the wheels. So it's going to come out looking really sweet. It's already in good condition. But after it's actually going to have more gloss and it's going to be protected for 5 years. So stay tuned. I'll be showing the steps how I do that.
So I'll start by washing the wheels on this Mustang. We want to make sure these wheels are cleaned up as much as possible before we start the prep stage for the ceramic coating on these wheels. So I'll use a foamer with a dedicated wheel cleaner. In this case I'm using Meguiar's all wheel and tire cleaner with a work stuff microfiber mitt so we can get inside these spokes on these nice black gloss black wheels, and we're not doing any scratching or any damage to the wheels. We're just making sure we have enough product like the wheel cleaner and gently removing all that dirt and grime and brake dust from these wheels.
Alright, so for this stage here, I'm doing a pre-rinse after the wheels have been washed. So I'm going to pre-rinse the whole body on this Mustang to knock off any dirt that could be sitting on the paint, like dirt or bird droppings, bugs. This is just another safe measure before we start the contact wash with our wash mitts.
So you see I just rinsed the car down. I like to do that to get whatever large contaminants that are on the paint, like bird droppings or whatever else that could have been sitting on the paint. Now that it's rinsed off, I'm going to foam the car up so it's got a nice lubrication so I'm not inducing any scratching or any marring in the paint. So it's going to be a nice safe wash technique. So I'm going to foam the whole car down and use my wash mitt. Alright, I got my microfiber wash mitt, really soft and safe for the paint. So now the car's foamed down, it's going to go in straight lines like this. And just take off whatever dirt or contaminants are on the hood. So we can make sure we have a nice clean surface before we start the polishing and of course the ceramic coating stage. Okay, if you notice, I just washed the car, rinsed it, and I foamed it again now. So what I did that for was to add more lubrication because now I'm going to use this clay mitt. Maybe you've heard clay bar. So sometimes when your paint's feeling really rough, or if you slide your hand around, you kind of hear that noise. It's not smooth. Even though this Mustang's still in good condition, we want to make sure that paint's as smooth and as clean as possible before we are coating it. So this is my clay mitt, and I got my clay lubricant here. So we'll add, you can spray your lubricant with the soap and lightly glide it on the paint, and you'll start to feel the paint get really nice and smooth. And that's very good for the next step, the polishing step. So we get optimal results for your paint to make it look really clear and bright and actually get that gloss up going. And then when we're coating it, it's going to make sure that coating chemically bonds really well, so it's going to last as long as it can. All right, so the car's all cleaned up. As you see, I rinsed it again. Last step, if you ever notice like little red or orange specks in your paint, especially on light color paints, like if you have a white car, that's iron deposit, usually from like brake dust that gets on your car or stuff in the air. That'll actually get on your paint, and you don't want to leave that in the paint too long. It doesn't look good. Because we have this beautiful car here, we want to make it look as good as possible. So I got my iron remover. It's a chemical. What that's going to do is break down those little iron particles in your paint. It's actually going to bring out the color depth and gloss in your paint, so it can make it look even better. So these are all the necessary steps that we do to make sure your car's looking as good as possible before we coat it. So go ahead, we spray it right in the paint here. Even though it's a light color car, it probably still has some iron deposits, especially these big breaks on these Mustangs. And it'll start to turn purple when it breaks down the iron in your paint. So you can take a look. We give it a few minutes to let it break down whatever particles, those iron deposits that are on your paint.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spray the iron remover all over the painted parts of this Mustang here, just to make sure any iron contaminants are removed in this step.
Alright, so now it's been on there for a minute or two. I already started to rinse it off, as you see. Want to make sure it's all off the paint. Like that. Give it a good rinse, make sure it's completely off the paint, and then we'll dry it. All the chemicals, everything's rinsed off, it's time to dry. It's good to have a nice soft towel like this. So it's going to dry the car off, just like you see here. We're going to get it in everywhere. Make sure this car is completely dry before we start polishing it. I'll also use compressed air and a leaf blower to get water out of these seams so your car is completely dry. Got this Mustang fully washed and decontaminated. Now the paint's looking really nice. We're just going to go a little one step further with a light polish onto the paint. So remove any little minor or mild defects that might be in the paint and get it cleansed and clean as possible before we put that coating down. So I got my dual action polisher here and some polisher ready from Rupus. So this polish will do a good job of removing any little minor defects in the paint and bring out gloss, and that's what we're going for. Same thing with this pad from Rupus. So I got two dots here of polish. Just lightly dab it onto your hood, wherever you're working on, whatever panel. You can spread it on the lowest speed setting on your polisher. And since we got the polish now spread out, we're ready to start buffing. We'll do 3 quick passes. Because I inspected his paint, there really isn't many defects. It just needs to be cleansed again and bring out a little amount of gloss. So go about speed setting 4 here, and you'll see how I buff it. So polishing's done. So you got some residue on the polish. Just use a nice soft microfiber cloth. Wipe it down. Inspect your work. So that'll do a good job, bring out gloss on the paint, and again get it ready for the coating. Now we got the wheels off on the Mustang, so we're going to start the coating process with the wheels. So we got the wheels off. You want to make sure they're really clean, extra clean before you start coating it. So we got our clay bar here. So you can already see I started, it's pretty dirty because the barrels, actually, you got a lot of that brake dust. So I'll show you how to clean it up. So you want to make sure your wheels are really clean. So you got a nice soft surface like this blanket, or if you got a wheel detailing stand. So you just place down the wheel and get your, this optimum no rinse, so it works well as a clay lubricant. So you just spray in the barrel of the wheel, spray some on your clay bar. You want to make sure, like the paint, that it's clean and smooth so that coating can adhere to the wheels. I can already feel that it's picking up a lot of contaminants. Take a look at that. So you want to flip over your clay bar. You can knead it like this and just keep going at it. Because with these Mustangs, they have big brakes and they create a lot of brake dust. And again, this is just to ensure that the coating will last as long as it can. But now it's starting to feel a lot smoother, but again, there we go again. So once that's done, we'll apply the coating, and we'll show you how that's done. Okay, wheels all cleaned up now, as you see, so we're ready to apply the ceramic coating. So I have my applicator pad here, and the Gtechniq C5 wheel coating. So now that the wheel's cleaned up, we just apply a little bit of coating on top of this coating applicator, just like you see there. Put the cap back on, you don't want to spill any, lose any product. And it's going to apply it all over the face of the wheel, and then we'll do the barrel. So just like this, make sure it's completely covered, you get even coverage inside the spokes. So what this is going to do, it's going to make the wheel cleaning easier in the future. And it's going to protect the wheels from any caked on contaminants like brake dust and road grime. So we'll continue the process on the rest of the wheel. We'll wait about 30 seconds, let this coating flash, and we'll wipe it off. Alright, so the car is ready to go. We already coated the wheels. Now it's ready to put down the first ceramic coating layer. It's called Gtechniq Crystal Serum Light. So that's a 3-year coating by itself. And what that's going to do, it's going to make the paint really smooth and slick. So it's going to help repel liquids, water, any contaminants that can fall in the paint. So we're going to do that first. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. And then once the coating, first layer is applied to the whole car, we're going to put Gtechniq Actual V5. That's a really hydrophobic. It repels water really well. So we'll show you how to do that too. So with Gtechniq CSL or Crystal Serum Light, you get your applicator pad like this. Comes with a nice little pipette. And you just apply some right here on the applicator pad. Put your coating away. We'll start on the hood. And then you apply either in straight lines like this or crosshatch pattern to make sure you get even coverage. Alright. We'll give it about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute. All depends on your environment. If you're in a really hot area, it's going to flash really fast. With CSL, you'll know it's ready to go when it starts to like almost sweat up. Like you see like little beads, that means it's ready to be wiped off. I have my first towel ready, and then I have 2 others, so 3 towels total to make sure it wipes off completely. You don't get any high spots. So this is already kind of beading up, so we're ready to wipe off. And the first initial wipe, you just want to make sure you get most of that residue or coating away, wiped off. So immediately, which is so cool with CSL, I can feel how slick the panel becomes. The second towel, let's buff off again. Now grab my third towel. It's good to have a light like this, particularly a paint correction light from Scan Grip, so I can see if I push the coating anywhere else on this hood, so I can wipe it off. So again, I don't get any high spots. So we get a proper installation for your ceramic coating. So there it is for that step. It's going to be the same thing for XOV5, and we'll continue on the rest of the car. Okay, we got the whole body, the paint ceramic coated. Now come other details, like your trim. So if you know your trim's starting to get a little faded or it's not as black as it used to be, this C4 ceramic coating from Gtechniq is for your trim. That's going to help enrich that color back to your trim and protect it so it doesn't start getting faded again. This Mustang, the trim's in really good condition, but you might as well protect it as well and give it that best look as possible. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So just like all their other coating, that dispenser, you get a nice applicator pad like this, pour some of your coating onto your pad. So I'm going to show you 50-50, so this looks like before. So you can start really anywhere, and this is pretty straightforward. You just rub it into the actual trim, and you start seeing right away darken the trim itself. Looking really nice. So you can start to see like a 50-50 line right here. If you want to get closer, you can take a look and see that difference. And then whatever excess amount, you get your towel and just buff off the residue, the excess. And don't worry, that's not going to get rid of any of the coating being absorbed right now into the plastic trim. But you can still see a difference here where we didn't do it, and now you got this nice deep black look to it like the day you bought it.
Alright, we're all done here coating this Mustang. Look at the results. It speaks for itself. You can see how glossy it's looking. So this was a combination of doing a decontamination wash, the polishing stage, and of course the coating. It received 2 coatings here of Gtechniq Crystal Serum Light and XOV5 from Gtechniq as well. So together you got a 5-year rated coating. So it's going to keep this Mustang protected, and it's going to make washing it a breeze. The wheels were coated and the trim was coated as well to complete the exterior coating package for this Ford Mustang.
All done now. This Mustang's looking fantastic. Just look at it glow. I cannot wait to see it in the sun. It's ready for the car show season. It's protected for 5 years. We polished it. Actually, before we polished it, did a full decontamination wash. Got this paint as clean as possible. Then I polished it. Then we put on Crystal Serum Light, a 3-year coating. On top of that, we put the new XOV5 from Gtechniq. That's going to protect it for another 2 years. So you got 5 years protected for the whole body of the paint. Not only that, it's feeling extremely slick. It's going to repel water really well. It's going to make washing the car a breeze. And not only that, it looks amazing with that added gloss. Took off the wheels, cleaned those up. Look how glossy they look. They look like new. So the wheels are coated, they're protected. And then you check out, look how nice and deep and rich these trim pieces are now. So you got that dark, rich black look to your trim now too. Same thing with the windshield cowl and the actual mirror pieces too. So pretty much exterior wise, this car is completely coated. It's going to look awesome now going forward, and it's protected. So we can do this to your car. Just message us, email us, text us. This is David from Southside Detail. Like always, let me know what you thought of the video in the comments. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.